Okay, I've modified the previous network to show how the redistribute static command would work in a RIP version 2 network. And what I've done is I've added another router to the network over here, and this router is not running RIP. Okay, so this router does not have RIP running, and it has three networks attached here on the right hand side: a 192.168.1 network, a 192.168.2 network, and a 192.168.3 network, all /24, right? And this is host 100, 100, 100, right? So these PCs are attached directly to Ethernet NICs on this router. And the router is obviously 192.168.1.1 and .1 over here and .1 over here, right? And the interfaces are active, so it's got three connected routes here, right? This router has three connected routes, and it has a connected network in between these two routers called the 210.210.210 network, right? And that's connected. So this router has four connected networks, and it's not running RIP. So in order for this router to reach this network over here and then all of these networks here, I put in two static routes, one static route to this network and then another summary static route that would cover all of the 173.16 networks. So I'll show you that right here. So if I click on router 3 and we go to config and we go to static, you can just see really quickly that I've got two static routes in here. And let's go to the command line interface and just look at them in the running config though. So we'll say show run and tab over to more, right? Hit the space bar, and there's our two static routes. This one is to the 209.165.2.201 network, and then this one is to a 173.16.0.0 network with a 16-bit subnet mask via the next hop router, which is 210.210.1, right? So 210.210.1 is over here on this interface, 210.210.2 is on this interface. So all it took was two static routes for this router to know about this network and then these five networks. Why? Because they all start with 173.16. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, well, how will these two routers learn about these 192.168.1 networks if this router is not participating in RIP, right? How will it learn about these two networks, right? And that's a good question, right? So how will it learn about those two networks? So what we're going to do is, we'll put in a static route on this router, a summary route, so that this router can talk to these three networks over here. And then we'll use a redistribute static command so that this router sends that static route through the RIP routing updates to the other two routers. And then these two routers can learn about that route or these networks through the redistribute static command. So all we have to do is we have to first of all find what's our summary route going to be for these three networks, the 192.168.1, the 2, and the 3 network. Well, I've written 192.168.1 over here in binary, and then this is 192.168.2 in binary, and then the 3 in binary. And you can see that if we look at the last common bit, the last common bit's right here, it's the 22nd bit from left to right. So the summary route will be 192.168.0.0/22. Okay, so that'll be a summary route that would cover a 192.168.0 network. It'll cover a 1 network, a 2 network, and a 3 network. It'll cover these three networks, and it'll enable this router to have only one route in its routing table to reach these three networks. So we'll put that in first, all right? And I'll do a Control-C and exit like we're starting from scratch. Hit enter and enable and Conf-T, right? And we're going to say, all right, I want to go to IP route 192.168.0.0, and now we need a /22 subnet mask, which is 255 192.168.255.252.0, and then the next hop IP address. Well, the next hop IP address for this router is 210.210.210.2. So we'll put that in here. All right. Okay, so now this router here should be able to ping these networks right there. And let's try that out. So Control C. And you can see we can hit host 1.100 and 3.100, so we're good. So now this router can talk to these three networks. Now, to send that static route, and we'll look again in the routing table here, show IP route, that there is a static route to that network right there, right? And we want to send this route with RIP routes. We want to send that route with our connected routes through RIP to the other routers. So to do that, what we'll do is we'll do a conft router RIP, and then we'll type in redistribute tab, redistribute static. And we'll put in the redistribute static command. And now these routers should learn about that summary route to these networks here and know how to get there. So we'll look in this router's routing table and see if it learned it. Enable conft show IP route. And you can see that it's learned through RIP about the 192.168.0.0 network /22. This is a summary route, and it's learned it through RIP even though it's actually a static route to these networks, because this router is not participating in RIP. If this router was participating in RIP version 2, we wouldn't have to do that, but it's not. So that's why this router redistributed the route to the other two routers. And now this host should be able to ping these networks. Let's try it out. And there's a ping to the 2.100 and the 3.100. So that's important. And so what does that mean? It means that the redistribute command worked. This router learned about the route to these networks, but also that on my static routes on this router to get all the way over here also worked, because to ping you've got an echo request all the way over to here and then an echo reply that has to go all the way back. So these routers need to be able to route backwards as well. So success.